Hey, good morning there, prophet. Prophets of the world, spokespersons for God, ambassadors. So, just in the day that God never ordained the ones that conform to the world, He used the ones that were odd. John the Baptist wore camel hair clothes, camel's hair clothes. So, the world has accepted so many that conform to the world. They have nice suit, nice car, nice house, nice stuff. It's like these Jehovah's out here, they're all dressed up. And I'm surprised they're even in our neighborhood because, we have a low middle class neighborhood with wrecked cars in the yard and houses that are still boarded up from the hurricanes. And so there's so many people out there that are not ordained by God, and they're claiming to be spokespersons for God. And the world has ordained them as prophets and apostles. The world has, not Jesus. So it's a very dangerous position to go out and be a witness. And you're witness in name only. You claim you're Christ in, but there's no Jesus within you, there's no Spirit of God within you. And you're not ordained by God. Paul talked about the peculiar. In the script, they talked about the peculiar, the odd people. God didn't ordain those. God didn't call the ones who were all preened and cleaned and didn't need a physician. They had a well-to-do job, 2 cats in the yard. So we're in this time, we're talking about such a dangerous time for people to be spokespersons for Jesus. And they've never met him, never knew him. They went to school, they studied the book, they pounded the book, they studied the book. And then they claim to know what God is saying in this time. But all they're really doing is looking at the past. And instead of the what God is saying in this time. They're looking at the past and trying to cipher what God is saying in this time. Cipher. Trying to understand, but they're not ordained by God to be a spokesperson for God. Very, very dangerous position. So not only do the prophets, the spokespersons have to lay low in the world, because they haven't humbled themselves. They're all shiny, they're all shinied up, and they're on television, televangelists, and man has ordained them as apostles and prophets. Man has put them in a high position, very dangerous position to claim to know Jesus. And Jesus says, I do not know you. But Lord, I did all this in your name. I bought a jet and a shiny car, and I preached to the world. But they never knew him. Jesus never knew them. So we're at a showdown time. It's a showdown, just as the sorcerers were the ones who ran behind the king. So we have all these sorcerers that run in this time behind the throne, so to be, of the world. And they're trying to direct the presidents and the dictators. And just as a friend of mine was noticing that these people, these so-called sorcerers, will go to the town psychics and pay the psychics for intel to know when to pounce on God's people, know when to set up their terrorist acts. They would look to the psychics. And that's where things are really messed up. So, dangerous position. Also want to talk about the chemicals in the skies. They have not gotten control of the climate changers. and they're waxing the people cold. They're killing the people through hurricanes, tornadoes, and what have you. And they have not got control of this. So we're being crop dusted every day. And if they don't get control of it soon, they're gonna wax cold which means cold bodies. They're going to devour and murder many people, many more people, not just Southern California, South Florida. We're talking about hurricanes, tornadoes on steroids. And we also, the visions I had 20 some years ago about all the planes were falling out of the sky. And I asked God, what's going on with that? He said that it's a sign of leadership. Leadership that claims to be God's people. God's spokesperson will go down in their nice Lear jets. And so we see that sign happening now. Now, the planes are not full of leadership at this moment. It's just a sign. And God's given the leadership a chance to repent on public broadcast and on national television, to repent and admit that they're not high and mighty, they're just lowly servants, and to shut up and stand down. Because you already see the planes crashing. You already see the planes crashing everywhere. Just, all different kinds of planes crashing. So I start out, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And he's got the earthquake going for the little man over here. So you can hear the rumble and the shaking. God's going to shake everything that can be shaken out of the trees, out of the high places. Shake the leadership to their core, to where they will humble themselves and or be killed. So you see all the signs happening now. Dangerous position to be in a high place and have all the trappings of the world. Have the nice car, the nice picket fence life, 2 cats in the yard. It's a showdown, but God's going to correct it. As Moses had to go against the sorcerers, said, I am sent me. I am that is God, and part of God that is in me as a spokesperson. That's what Moses said. And unless they heed the call, death will not pass over. Death will consume them. So we'll queue up some more. Ambassador Frederick here. Ambassador for the Most High God. Be warned.